Hi, I'm JL Fields with the Center for Creative Leadership, and I am here to talk to you about how to stay plant-based when you're traveling for work. I travel for work a lot, so I've learned the hard way, and I used to think that it was difficult, and now I've learned that it's not complicated at all. I have a few tips I'd like to share with you today. So one is, if you're flying, know your airport, know your airline, and then plan accordingly. Most of the airlines I'm flying these days don't feed me, so I actually come prepared, and my bag is filled with nuts and seeds and plant-based nutrition bars. And if I have a little extra time in the morning, I make my own lunch, maybe a hummus wrap, hummus spread on a whole wheat wrap, and put that in a foil or a baggie, and I'm perfect. And I get to my destination with no problem. A lot of airports have many more plant-based options. There's SIBO Express, which you can find in a lot of airports these days, where they have a wide variety of plant-based options. But also try to find the Asian or the Mediterranean restaurants where you can get some terrific options. And truthfully, my favorite airport meal is I go to one of the Mexican restaurants and I ask which beans are vegetarian, and I just have a basic bean burrito, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So there's a great way to get through the airport and have a meal on the plane with no worries. Secondly, you're going to be staying at a hotel, maybe 2 days, maybe 5 days. Make friends with your hotel. Talk to folks before, call ahead and say, I have a couple of things I need. I need a refrigerator for my room. I'd like a microwave if possible. And I'd love to know what kinds of vegan or plant-based options you have on the menu. And if you don't have any, could I talk to someone in the kitchen? Because I am going to be there for 5 days, and so I have some things I want to make sure I get. You will be amazed at how responsive people are, because you know what? They want you to come back. You're traveling for business and you are their business. And so ask, and you will be really pleasantly surprised at how willing they are to help you. So why have a refrigerator in your room? Well, not everyone's going to do this, but can I tell you that if I know I'm going to be away from my home for 4 days or more, I want the comfort of knowing I have some things that I would normally have at home. So I'll find the local Whole Foods or just the regular grocery store, and I'll get some baby carrots and some celery and nuts and hummus and maybe some prepared foods, baked tofu that's already prepared. So I know that if I'm heading out for a meeting and I have no idea when I'm going to eat again, I've had something in my hotel room. The microwave is great for leftovers, so it can be an alternative breakfast. It's also great if these convenience foods fit great in a suitcase. This is miso soup. We have some vegetarian chili, and these can go right in between your clothes when you're packing. And if you have a microwave in your room, you can heat up some soup very quickly. You can go down to where they serve continental breakfast and make your own soup. We've got some black beans and lime soup here. And then, of course, as I mentioned, I always like to have some protein bars that are handy as well. So having a refrigerator and microwave are really, really helpful. Now, if you're traveling for work, there's a really good chance you're going to be going out for meals with your colleagues, whether for meetings or socially afterwards. And most of us don't really want to bring a lot of attention to our diet because that's not why we're there, and we don't know what to do when we're going to a restaurant. So here are my tips. One, if I am in charge, meaning I'm traveling and I'm taking my client out for a meal and I invited my client out for a meal, then I'm picking the restaurant. So I'm going to plan ahead and I'm going to pick a restaurant where I know I can look at the menu, ask for what I want, and get the perfectly prepared plant-based meal. If I've been invited out for dinner, then I'm more inclined to plan ahead. I'm going to either look online at a menu and see if I see anything that actually says vegetarian or vegan that lets me know they're prepared for someone like me, or I'll call ahead and I'll just say, I'll be dining with you on Thursday night, and I'm calling to see what plant-based options you offer. If I'm not getting good information or feeling super positive about what happened when I called, I go back to that online menu and I start to look at what some of the sides are with the other entrees that are being served. So I look at the sides, I look at what's being served elsewhere, and I already know when I walk into the restaurant what I'm going to order. And I just simply sit down and I say, I'd love the Brussels sprouts with this dish, the wild grain rice with this one, and how about the cannellini beans from this dish? And then I have a great meal and I get to focus on what I'm there for, work. So my tip to you is very simple: plan ahead.